Hi team, I haven't done one of these videos in a while showing off the next wave of Orks. Well, this is wave 4 of my Orks, which have been gloriously painted up to level 3 standard by Den of Imagination Painting Studios. Now, I think they've done an absolutely glorious job, particularly as this is only level 3 and their painting standard goes all the way up to level 7 for that Golden Demon standard, truly special painting for those display models, I guess. Now, for those of you that watched the Ork versus Imperium campaign, 27 minutes on deploymentzone.tv, you'll already know that I've got the Morknaut and the Gorkanaut because they both featured in the finale of that campaign. No one else has seen the Battle Wagon yet. And people in YouTube world didn't know I had the Gorkanaut and the Morknaut, so I thought it was prudent that I threw this video up there. But also, I'm fishing for ideas. You see, the reason why I've got 3 toughness 8 models and not just one Gorkanaut, or well, one of the reasons why I've got a Gorkanaut and a Morkanaut is because I wanted both of them. But another reason why I got them is because if you just throw one large toughness vehicle model all the way forward, then it's going to suffer the wrath of all the strength 9 las cannons that are coming out of it, or strength 10 weaponry that's going to come out of it, and it won't last very long on its own. So I got 2, figuring that well, 2's better than 1, and also if one goes down, the other one is still chugging along and rampaging deep towards the enemy lines, and it'll be tougher to take both of these things down. They'll live longer, they'll cause more of a problem, and then the battle wagon is just that icing on the cake, that extra little thing. So what you've got in front of you here is much toughness 8 wounds throwing themselves forward at the enemy lines. 52 toughness 8 wounds, in fact. So they should last a bit longer than just one of these vehicles going forward on its own. I do very much like the Bonebreaker, and the rules for this thing are very good. For example, if it makes close combat unmolested at its highest profile, this is 6 strength 9 attacks -2, 2 damage, hitting on 2s. Hitting on 2s with 6 attacks at strength 9. That is absolutely brutal. I didn't put very many shooters on it, trying to keep it cheap. And of course, it is the Bonebreaker model because to me, this is a very iconic, old school, it's just an iconic vehicle, isn't it? Kill cannon on top. And I think that this is probably the best version of the battle wagons that you can get out there. I didn't overload it with boys and things because I might want to add them or stick some things in at a later date. So that's cool. That's really nice. Thank you, Den. It looks glorious. These 2 things look absolutely glorious. Now, this is what I'm fishing for. What's better, a Gorkanaut or a Morkanaut? To me, the Gorkanaut here is an anti-horde killer with all of its guns. I mean, it's got 18 strength 6 shots here, which essentially do about the same damage output as an assault cannon, twin assault cannon. Twin assault cannon, 12 shots hitting on 3s. This thing, 18 shots hitting on 5s with Daka. It's going to do about as much shooty. It's going to be about as effective as a twin assault cannon before they changed it to make the Devastator Doctrine a thing, because there's AP -1, whereas the Devastator Doctrine effect on the twin assault cannon will be AP -2. So this is about as effective as a twin assault cannon with the Devastator Doctrine not in an effect. And then you've got some more Daka and some more and a flamer, and then the rockets on top for the pinch in the tail. So it's a horde killer to my mind, except for the fact that when it gets into combat, it's got more punches. 6 base attacks, 4 base attacks. 6 base attacks, which means you go up to 18 attacks if it goes into smash mode rather than crush mode. So it's a horde killer unless you go punchy. And I think probably the best way to run this thing would be to put it in a teleporter and come charging it out of a teleporter with "here we go," rampaging into the enemy lines. But this thing is your anti-tank gun, the Morkanaut, with the custom Mega Zapper and the custom Mega Blaster. It's got some truly good, terrifying strength 8 weaponry on it. And they're AP -3 D6 damage. This one a single shot, strength 8 -3 D6 damage. But this one's heavy 3D3, so 3 to 9 shots, strength 8 -3 D6 damage. And in the Ork arsenal, apart from power claws, which you can sprinkle pretty much everywhere, it's restricted the amount of truly heavy weapons that you can bring. For example, in a Space Marine force, Lots of things bring las cannons or missile launcher. You can put them on flyers, you can put them on tactical marines, devastators. You can sprinkle anti-tank weapon throughout a space marine army. In the Gork army, in an Ork army, anti-tank weapons only come on particular models here or there. You can sprinkle power claws all over the place, and that's your anti-tank running up and actually crumping stuff. But actual strength 8 stuff, you've got this thing, you've got mech guns, you've got strength 8 weaponry on the shock jump dragster, and of course meganobs and things like that. But having played Space Marines a lot, it's harder to get the true anti-tank weaponry spread about the lines as much as you can in other forces. Therefore, bringing this one along fills that hole that you sometimes find yourself having when you're running Orks, which is the ability to wreck open armor at range rather than just going up and ripping it apart with your power claw. Now, to be fair, when you're playing Orks, you're running forward and ripping things apart with your power claws anyway, or just mass assaults, mass volume of attacks with boys. But I do think this one fills a hole. And it comes with its custom force field, so it's got a 5-up invulnerable save, and that custom force field does spread out. So if you put this one nearby, they'll both have a 5-up invulnerable save. So maybe not putting this one in the teleporter, maybe instead having them just running forward and being. But then if you run this one forward, it's got less attacks, and the custom force field only works for shooting attacks. So the custom force field won't kick in if you're in close combat. But then if you're not charging forward, you're not crumping time, are you? You're not getting up. How do you run them? What's the best way to run a Gorkanaut or a Morkanaut? Personally, looking at it, thinking about it, teleport is a good idea. If you're bringing this on its own, put some mech boys inside of it or something inside of it. But if you're running them both together, I would probably run both of them and charge them forward and just be very orky with them. Little things you notice when you put these models together yourself. I'd never noticed it before, but the guy in the turret at the top there, I particularly like. Look at this. The guy at the back of the big the super gun of doom there, actually controlling the gun, spraying it left and right all over the place. Sticking these together was a pleasure, actually. They were very easy to do, and different customizable options. Not too many customizable options, but at least there's some in an Ork kit. That's one of the problems with the new Speed Freaks things, such as the custom booster blaster or the shock jump dragster. One of the problems I found with them, for me, is they're not very customizable. One shock jump dragster or one booster blaster is going to look much the same as another one. I wish those kits had more variety to them, more customizable options. Of course, many Ork players out there just whack together and convert the stuff themselves anyway, so that doesn't bother them too much. But it would be nice to have the options in the box. For example, the Death Killer Wartrike is a Death Killer Wartrike, no customizable options in there. Again, Orks are making many different versions. Ork players are making many different versions of this for themselves. But yeah. Anyway, that's what I've got. How do you run them? What's the best way to run them? Now, I know the best way to run Orks is bring just 300 boys anyway. But this will change things up and change up the type of lists I can bring. Oh, another thing people have been asking is, who did the bases? The bases are also available from Dent of Imagination Painting Studios. This is their custom bases. I think they make these themselves. So all of my Orks have been painted up by them, and they base them for me as well. So that's it for this video. Fishing for ideas, guys. I think you can agree that they absolutely look glorious. And more Orks, more wah for Murphy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.